Hello everyone, welcome to Gensou Skydrift. My name is Ulvind. So for those who are wondering what this game is, it's pretty much a kart game like Mario Kart Double Dash, but with Toho characters. I'm going to play both campaigns, so there's going to be one campaign, then I will leave to go to the menu, then I will do the other. Okay. I think my sound is a little loud, so if it's possible to turn it down. Okay, I'm going to show. So, for example, you have the different characters. We're not going to use all of them during the run. There's going to be some duos that we're going to use throughout the run. So we're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So this first cutscene is pretty much a mashing simulator. Like, I will pretty much explain what's going on. So the characters of Toho pretty much lost all their powers, or their power became unstable, and they have to know who did it. So what they decide is they decide to go one on top of the other and actually race to the finish. So you have the little tutorial at the beginning here that we're going to skip just by pressing A. The circuits are actually pretty simple. Like, this one is going to be... And here I'm going to try... Oh, nice! I'm going to try to catch a few objects. The objects here is makes us accelerate a bit, which makes me do this shortcut. And oh, that's a very good beginning so far. Another item to make me boost, and yeah, I failed this one though. So what this should do normally is going over the barrier and making sure that I skip the entire 180-degree turn. And here it's pretty much an attack item, so not very useful here. I'm going also to make sure to switch as much as I can. The reason being that I gain a small speed boost every time I actually switch. There we go, first one is done. Real talk, how is this compared to Mario Kart 8? It's completely different. Like, the button for drifting is completely different. I think you know like, for example, it's L on Mario Kart, and on Gensou Skydrift, the button to drift is B. So basically, you're drifting like pretty much at the same time. And the objective is also pretty much to make sure to have all the boost available. Okay, we're going to 1, 2, 1, 2. So we go a little slower on that section, which is why I'm actually switching to make sure to have a pretty much constant speed that's a little bit higher than the opponents. Okay. If you have a few donations, or something to plug, go ahead. There's not much to do not much to explain in this run, pretty much.
Yep, we have a $5 2-cent donation from Anonymous with the comment Yeet, and that is to name the Pokemon Shield trainer Yeet.
Okay.
Yep. And we do have the Crash Tag Team Racing incentive coming up that still doesn't have any donations, so please get those rolling in because we want to see the bowling minigame.
Why you skateboard in a lolly? So I explained pretty much at the beginning. It's the powers of all the Toho characters became unstable. So to make them stable, they have to ride on top of each other. So yeah, that's pretty much why we arrived to this. So this game was actually released. The first version of this was released back in 2015 at the Comiket. And the second version, this is version 2.0 that was released on Switch and on PC. I'm playing on Switch. And this version was released about a month ago. And there we go. Here it's going to be like the objective for us is pretty much to wait to have a sufficient boost to actually make sure to go a little bit faster each time. It's 2. And here we could actually go. We could actually use wait to use objects, but it's actually quicker to just spam the switch button and gain a small boost each time. Can you unlock Luigi in this game? Good question. So we are actually playing a second duo here, Suwako and Sanae. You have basically you see that you have a lot of different bars at the bottom of the screen, bottom right. You have this red bar that is charging. This is your this is pretty much your magic, like pretty much your mana. And when you click on a button, it unlocks a few objects that you can use. And for example, here, the objective is generally to have boost items, but like defensive items are good as well, because you never know when you're going to be hit by an object. Are there any other benefits to switching characters? Well, one of the reasons why I decided to spam switch is pretty much because you have a pretty much constant small speed instead of waiting for this boost here that might not give you boost items, and this would be a little bit complicated. Gensou Skydrift is a boneless Mario Kart Appalachia. Yep, pretty much, basically. And hi, Ilya. I see you in the chat. There's actually a few people from the Gensou Skydrift community in the chat. I'm seeing this. And next track is going to be Scarlet Devil's Mansion. Oh. Okay. So we got hit here. It's basically like it's a small time loss. It's not a huge problem. Oh, 2 boost items. That's good. Whoops. So, basically, your objective here is to turn as tightly as you possibly can. So you make sure that there's no problems when you actually try to turn. And try to boost here. If you have any other questions about this game, don't hesitate to ask. I'll try to answer. Oh. Well, there is an explanation in the lore about this, about the fact that they're right on top of each other. So as long as there's an explanation in the lore, that's no problem. On the other path, are the other paths to take on this track much slower? Not much slower, but it makes us gain like about a second each time. So yeah, it's better to take these tracks pretty much. And good. Without the constant switching, how much slower is a 100% run? Good question. I don't think you would be able to actually finish in less than an hour. Probably. Or maybe about 2 or 3 minutes slower. Whoop. There we go. Okay, so here it's pretty tight, but we get it pretty easily. Defensive item. That's here. Whoop. So it's often pretty much a matter of changing between characters to use their abilities. Some are actually faster than others, which makes certain passages way faster. And some have way better handling in terms of the turns. So it's pretty much a matter of alternating quickly between both. And knowing when to use what character as well.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
Sure thing.
We have $20 from Piley saying good luck to all the runners. And they have donated towards a host of different bits, including Crash Tag Team Racing, Bon Clutch's Lanes, and also to call the trainer in Pokemon Shield Oi You. So everybody please get those donations rolling in. Still got loads of bids to vote for.
So we're arriving on pretty much on the end of the track. Because you see pretty much a difference between the characters in terms of boost, in terms of each character has pretty much different stats, and that's the stats we actually use. Toho double dash. Yeah, that's pretty much the game. Whoop. Yep. Yeah, tried something and didn't work. That's fine. At least I have a boost item now, so I can definitely handle the rest. 2, 3. Okay. Rip World record. Yeah, it's not a huge time loss, and I think I can definitely at least get a couple seconds on it a little bit later in the run. Right, this one for the tighter turns. Sometimes it's just a matter of like taking the character that has the best handling, the best drift, to make sure that you do everything correctly in a you do everything correctly and you manage a return as tight as you can. Okay, that's good. That's good. One. Do you have races with more into AI? It's coming. It's actually coming. We have 3, and as it will progress, we have 4, then 5, 6, and eventually 7, which is the most the game can actually handle. Nope. Missed the beginning here. That's no problem. We can easily come back. We're going to take a couple. Okay. Okay. Yes, this is the game that Lord Mouse actually ran at ESA Summer last year. This is the pretty much the version 2.0 that will release on Switch. They changed a couple characters in terms of stats, and they added a second campaign, which I will do after this one. Okay, so not exactly the best items there. As long as I do not get hit by an item, like, we should be fine for the moment. If you have like any donations, any things you want to say, just go ahead.
At the moment, I'd just like to remind the viewers at home that we have quite a few open bid wars. So for Pokemon Shield, we have a whole host of bid wars that you can vote for, including the trainer name and the Growlithe name, as well as the Scorbunny name. And we have a bid war for Crash Tag Team Racing in order to ensure that the bowling minigame is played, and we are still $72 off that, so please get your donations rolling in.
So, thing is, this circuit is pretty much the longest circuit in the game. We usually take about 3 minutes and like 10-15 seconds to complete it, to complete the 3 laps. You will see circuits that are pretty much just as long, but will only have 2 laps. We saw one a little earlier, and we'll see one a little bit later as well. And so far it's going smoothly, apart from the incident in the previous track. But no, so far it's going pretty smoothly. It's on Switch and PC. It was normally on PC and was released on PC and on Switch. The version 2.0 was released not extremely long ago. I think it was about a month ago. Yeah, 315. Okay, Hakugyokuro. This one is it's not a circuit of three with 2-3 laps. It's a circuit with one section, with one very long section. That will usually take about a minute and a half to complete. And like for these music here, pretty much shout out to Zun, because he created pretty much bangers. Oh, he pretty much created bangers, like all over this game. It's completely littered with bangers. Most of the songs are actually arranged by Soundholic that that fans of Touhou might recognize. Okay, good. So there's actually some sections of the track that are a little that have a that have collision, some sides, and some sides actually don't have collision, so you can actually fall and lose a couple seconds just by not paying attention, pretty much. Like this part, right here. Good. Okay, what do we have next? Nice. So we have Embers of Blazing Hell with the best soundtrack of the game. And here we have 3 laps in a scenery filled with lava. Banger alerts. This is the best soundtrack of the game, pretty much. I'm going to switch pretty quickly because these are extremely tight turns that you need to negotiate as good as you possibly can. Okay, good. So we have... Whoops. That was my bad. Okay. Good. Okay, so here comes a section that is pretty complicated. Yeah, I will get hit. That's not a problem. Just need to handle correctly. Rest. Like we're gonna take a defensive item here. Oh. No. Okay, second lap. Hope we will have more luck. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Good. Online is dead. No, it's not dead. I mean, there's not much people. Like, we have a very small community, but very tight knit. We have a Discord on which we very often talk about the game, about Touhou shitpost, mostly. Good. good. That's a very... Oh! We didn't have time to see the ultimate. That's a shame. And we are arriving to the last track of the first campaign, Misty Lake. And of course, the villain of this game... I think you know who this is. You've seen her a lot of times. So this is Cerno. Like the little angel. Like the little fairy with ice wings. We're going to go on the side here because it's going to be pretty messy. Okay, good, good. And we're going to try to skip. There you go. This skip actually saves about 2 or 3 seconds, pretty much. It's pretty easy to perform. That's 1, that's 2. Okay, this part is extremely complicated because these are very tight turns that you need to negotiate. That's 1. I'm going to limit my interactions here because I know I can fall extremely easily in this track. Okay, we have the second and last lap, by the way, of the first campaign. Oh, it's going pretty well, I would say. A sub 28 is definitely doable. So my record on that is actually something like a 26:40, if I recall correctly. Oh, yep. That's what I thought. So you will see that normally, if you actually fail to arrive first on a course, you're supposed to repeat it, but that's not even going to be an issue in this campaign because we can pretty easily mow through the different characters and the different races. That's 1, 2, 3. Oop. Okay, good. Okay, and first campaign is over, 27:37. That's pretty good. That's a very good first campaign. So we're going to have right now the second campaign that we're going first to skip the credits. Don't worry, we'll see them in the second after the second campaign. We click on campaign, and there we go. And the second campaign is pretty much, well, what happens after? Well, Cerno wants revenge. Cerno wants revenge, and she wants to actually settle the score and to make sure that she has her revenge. And this time, we control Cerno. This is pretty much the second campaign that was... So what you saw, the first track, the first campaign was the campaign that was in the original game. This one was added with the second version that was on Switch. And you control 2 characters, Yue and Cerno. And here, same thing, we're going to... this is one of the only 2 tracks... Oh! This is one of the only 2 tracks that is maintained during the first and the second campaigns. Other than that, the 7 other circuits will be completely brand new, which is actually pretty cool because we can definitely show other things in this game. If you have like anything to plug, like go ahead.
I'd just like to remind everybody watching at home and in the audience that the address to a haggis is coming up in about half an hour, so don't change channel or walk off because it's about to be something amazing that's going to happen, so stay tuned.
Ah, come on. Yeah, I wanted to skip, but sadly I didn't do it at the right time. Else I would have basically skipped an entire short section where you had to do like 180-degree turns. There's not much to say pretty much about this campaign. It's basically she wants to have revenge against everyone, so she is going to beat everyone. And yeah, we're going to make sure she beats everyone. There you go. So that's the first track of the second campaign, and we're going to have the second track of the second campaign, which is another track you actually saw, Yokai Mountain. And yeah, as Elias mentioned, well, Cerno is absolutely broken in this game. Like, she's absolutely OP. And to the point where most people actually have a very, very good level, and most of the world records are actually held by people who have Cerno and another character, or double Cerno, because yes, you can actually pick 2 times the same character. And that makes sometimes for very funny races when you're online. Mario Kart 64 course. Okay, so... Oh, I don't have boost. Okay, so basically what happens is I don't have enough boost, so I'm pretty much forced to wait until I have boost, which is extremely awkward because it's extremely long. And we have the first lap completed. And the different stats of the character actually are related to. Sorry, actually are related to their position in the duo. For example, you would see that the acceleration actually comes from the character below and not the character above. Mostly because you see the actual lines that come from their bodies. That's actually about this. So, and the drift stats actually comes from the character that is below as well. Okay, I'm going to shoot. Oh, come on. Yeah, that's one. Kart racers always have 0 balance. 16 Cernos racing each other. It is technically 14 because the maximum duo you can have on this game is actually 7 and not 8. Can you drift boost? Not really. You cannot really drift boost. It's pretty much like it's pretty much a 2-button system. You have the button to accelerate, the button to brake, and if you hold both at the same time, you drift. That's as easy as that, pretty much. Another... Going to see where it is. Yeah. So I'm actually not taking any risks for the shortcuts, mostly because the platform is moving, and if you happen to be right outside the zone, it will decide to just pop you out of the platform and make you go into the void, which is not what you want. So basically, in some turns, you just avoid it altogether. Yeah, no, I'm not taking any risks. That 3 times. Okay, we have a defensive item again. Whoop. Oh, what the? Yep. Come on. Okay. Oh, okay, we have sound. Good. So now that we have sound and I don't have pretty much everything to say, so let's go. Let's count with us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yay! Okay. It can go extremely quickly, but good. So, okay. You can easily fall in this section. It's a very long track as well, so you have a lot of time to make mistakes. Okay, that was probably mine, but like, okay. Anyhow, so if the announcer wants to plug anything like donation incentives or etc., yep, feel free.
We have, as I said earlier, we do have the address to a haggis coming up in about 15 minutes. So stay tuned in for us, for Argic talking to a haggis for some reason. We also have $72 still to go on the Crash Tag Team Racing bowling mini game. So please get your donations rolling in for that. We do not want to miss that incentive.
Good. Okay, so we got Underground City, which is so we have, I think, 1, 2, 3. We have 4 tracks left, basically. Each track is going to be so this one with the best soundtrack of the game again. And we see pretty much like, unless you get hit at the beginning and you're not extremely far ahead, like you can go extremely far ahead pretty quickly and just keep the lead for the entirety of the track. And that's basically what we do. We just try to not get hit at the beginning and then we just plow through it. So this track is only 2 laps. We're going to use the switch mechanic. We're going to put the switch mechanic to good use, and yeah. So mostly the attack items, we're going to throw them like as soon as we can because we don't have any use for it. Because we're pretty much never going to be second in the entire track unless like we screw up at the beginning. But this mostly never happens. How far behind is the AI? I would say between 10 and 15 seconds at least each time, which is actually pretty decent distance. Game should have a rubber band. Yeah, definitely should have a rubber band. Now it's 16 seconds you see here. Okay, the outside world. This one, I'm a little bit afraid because each time I actually play it, I tend to fall at least once. So let's see if I will have a little more luck here. Yeah, okay. I'm going to stay on the side. Stay on the side. Good. Okay. They tend to hit pretty easily in this game, and sadly I don't have much. You can often fall often fall into the void for being hit by an enemy. Good. Good. So a little section here when where you can recharge pretty much your magic. So you have 3 bars. So you have the red bar that fills completely and gives you your first item. Then you have the green bar that fills complete. You have the blue bar that fills over the green bar and gives you the second level of item. And then you have a tiny yellow bar that you see right above the green, right above the big bar. It's for pretty much the ultimates of the characters that you can use pretty much anywhere and anytime. And some ultimates are actually pretty cool. For example, the ultimate of Cerno is actually to freeze the enemy in place for an extended amount of time. Good. I thought I wouldn't make that. So this one is a 2-lap track. Again, not much to say, not much else to say. So if you have anything to plug, just go ahead.
Just a quick reminder that we are raising money for Young Minds, so please keep your donations rolling in. It all goes to a great cause. And one of those incentives that you can put your money towards is to name the trainer for Pokemon Shield. And that's not the only one. There are multiple different incentives for Pokemon Shield, including naming the Growlithe and the Scorbunny. So please check all those out on our donations website and get them rolling in.
Alright, 2 tracks left. We have Moonlight Bamboo Thicket, which is... It's a very nice track. You'll see the gimmick pretty easily by looking at the map. So look at the map, you'll see pretty easily what is the gimmick of this map. And we can easily abuse this, the fact that it never go. The track often forces you to go one way, but we can definitely abuse it and go the complete other way and save a lot of time. Like for example here, the track pretty much forces you to go on the one side, but if you go on the other side, you gain about 1 or 2 seconds, which is extremely useful when you want to be as quick as possible in this game. And that's also pretty much the difference between having to restart and not having to restart. Because if you don't finish first, you have to restart the track, which is actually pretty. Well, it makes us lose about 2 or 3 minutes depending on the track. So it's definitely not something we want. Okay, good. Going to go on this side. Go. And we will arrive on the last track of the game. So, time will be when I pass the finish line after the second lap. And what happens is, after you beat everyone, they decide, okay, you know what, you win, let's invite you to play with us. And we go to Sea of Tranquility, which is an amusement park created by Clown Piece. And it's an enormous track as well, pretty much. Let's go on this side. There we go. Okay, here comes a part I usually don't like, because this is completely, this is extremely complicated to negotiate and to make sure you have the best trajectory in this in this tunnel. But we usually do it without scratch. It's not a problem. So we have the final lap. We're arriving near the end of this run. So about the time, I'd say we would arrive about 10 to 15 seconds behind the world record, which is not. That's not really much. I think my world record on this is 51. I think it's 51:10 or 51:12. And yeah, it looks like a 51:20, I think. Unless I manage to do a good ending. Oh. Wait for it. Oh, maybe. Wait for it. So time will be when I pass the finish line. Time! Yeah, that's technically a PB, technically a world record as well. By 1 or 2 seconds. Which is extremely short. It's extremely tight. So yeah, sorry for sounding a little awkward during this run. Yeah, I will see you in about, I would say in about an hour. And I will play some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So, I will see you in about an hour. And yeah, take care.